And I think that part of the reason that we experience the world so dualistically, good and evil, right and wrong, us versus them, communism versus capitalism, light versus dark, all of this stuff, the whole world just seems constantly polarized, Republican versus Democrat. And this polarization comes out of the fact that human beings, by and large, are sexually heterosexual and either male or female, and you can't be both at the same time. We've discovered that while you can't be both, you can sort of be the best of both. And I think our modern sexual liberation is moving us towards this world, this way in which we don't have to be so dualistically polarized. And you could see that the United States would work a lot better if they weren't so polarized politically, with one side trying to ruin the other side. And it ruins it for all of us. We need to get over duality. All is one.
We have about 3 minutes left. Larry Quartz, one of our forum committee members, has a question.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. I'd like to get a more clear definition of myth. To me, myth, from what I've heard from you, I'm a little bit confused, but I think it's sort of a parable. A myth
Yes.
is a parable?
Or a metaphor.
A metaphor? All right. Could you comment more on
Just,
that,
you know,
please?
I use this metaphor of being the rose in the bush. That's not a major religious myth that you could think of, but that's a metaphor for how to think about individuality versus being part of the larger being of humanity. Gaia. Gaia is a modern myth, part of scientific myth. This idea that the earth is an organism and operates, that comes out of, Carl Sagan and, not Carl, I've got the wrong name. Anyway, you know the Gaia hypothesis, you know what I'm talking about? That comes out of the science of ecology, but it's then a metaphor, the name of a Greek goddess is applied to it. So we have the Gaia hypothesis. But that's not saying that there really is such a goddess. It is saying that these words referred then to that idea and give us a word to use. So we have words like resurrection or the Immaculate Conception or the virgin birth. Those are metaphors to say Jesus' teachings were really good. And I mean, what could be more right than treat other people the way you want to be treated? The story of the Bodhisattva is basically saying the same thing. It's you. As Bill Moyers interpreted Joseph Campbell saying, you mean this is it? And Campbell agrees, yes, this is it. This, right now, our experience is our opportunity to experience being alive. And all of these metaphors are out there to remind us we're alive and we ought to experience life as fully as we can, which means being loving and treating other people as though they were us. I'm preaching.
Do you have like a closing statement, just a few moments for us?
The goal of all spirituality is the experience of being in heaven now. This is it.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. This has been an inspiring talk, and I think we'll be thinking about this talk for many months to come. So thank you for sharing your time with us.
Thank you for listening. Thank you. And inviting me. It's wonderful.